Hey folks, welcome back. This is Lucid, and we are jumping back into radiation therapy. It is turn 22. And, we got a message from the host. This patch bug where Satis has unexplainably 1,000 more gold than he should. It's the in-game cheat detection system. This for like if you hack your turn files and stuff, but in this case the game, the recent patch caused this bug. So anyway, he's sending everybody 100 gold, because indeed he is 1,000 gold richer than he should be. We got our dragon helmet, we got an owl quill, so I think we are set. Oh, you know what I think I forgot to do is I didn't assign the second owl quill out. Shit. We found some magic sites this time. We found a battlefield, which is 1 death gem. We found a Sun Ridge and Painted Cave. Now, Sun Ridge is a 2 fire gem site, and Painted Cave is a 1 pearl. So that makes this quite the nice province. Not totally sure what we're going to use fire for. We'll have to figure that out as we go. Now, there's a few things. We'll watch this battle first. This is where we were attacking what I expected to be vacant Centaur land, but unfortunately he has put an Inca here, who is a Holy 3 mage, and done a respectable, probably like 25 PD dump. And that Inca is going to just murder my guys, as well as the barbarians. So, man, we get completely trounced. We're kind of getting outplayed. Which, fighting Pangea, you get forced into, it's difficult to raid a lot when you're worried about dryads everywhere. And then he's got these super Hellblast White Centaur. So I've got to be really careful about where I go. So I end up having kind of a lot of predictable moves. And I can't, as Ermor, you don't really have a ton of sneaky things you can do. You kind of, Ermor is the hammer. So it's kind of easy to get outplayed as Ermor. The only sneaky thing you really have is Ermor's high map move. So anyway, we have that going for us. And the White Centaur have moved over here. Now there's one other battle which we need to watch. It's this one. And indeed he did attack, but with a small little raiding party, pretty low commitment. It's just 6 White Centaur and a guy to bless them. And it is against the army of Ermor. And how many of my sacreds do you think they will kill? I will give you a hint. The answer is 0. Actually, they may kill you. Winter, by the way, our Atimu, has gotten a very good heroic trait. He got heroic toughness, which means he's going to get an increased max HP pool, which is quite nice. Considering that we have, a Blood Vengeance Regen Bless. It means he can become quite a super combatant. For things that are not specifically, even things like Dust to Dust, which you would normally worry a lot about, he can survive through a lot of that. Now the astral stuff, like Soul Slay, we still need to steer him clear of, but we've gotten attacked again by the forces of nature, who are very upset with us for killing everybody. But we got some nice gym events too, so can't super complain. Anyway, that's basically it for this turn. Now, I don't know. So the Harpies have gone missing, so I don't know where they are. My guess is he's going to just do some deep raiding with them just to fuck with me. But he may not. Either way, we're going to just move back here, like kind of random flailing around movements, so that if he does, because I can't take this out with, the Inca being there. And the PD dump. This army is like the same kind of army that just got completely killed. So anyway, we're just going to kind of flail around. We're going to move up here. If he wants to come sit on top of one of my forts, he's more than welcome to. He'll probably starve a little bit. But hey, that's okay. Starving doesn't really matter on White Centaur very much, because they've got recuperation, so they'll eventually get rid of disease. They've got a lot of HP and regen, so like they start off battle with like a tiny bit less HP. It doesn't really matter. they go berserk, so the morale penalty is not really going to matter. It just doesn't matter that much. But anyway, he's welcome to go ahead and park them on top of one of my forts. I don't have an army nearby. Like, I'd have to pull this whole front back to resist him. So he can just check into the Ermor Hotel. Okay, so what we are going to do, though, is we are going to attack on top of this fort. And I've got one turn left for this fort to come up. So if he's going to attack me, it's presumably going to come from this direction, which I don't see. Basically, he's not going to attack me, I don't think. We've been patrolling, so there's no stealthy units here. He could have stealthy units here, which take it. I mean, I just don't expect it. So anyway, we're going to be leaving just this guy with the ghouls behind, and this guy's going to finish the palisades this turn. And this has already been claimed by taxes. So it's kind of weird. It just says taxes, not salt, death, and taxes. But yeah, we're going to move everybody in. Everybody. And we've got a lot of sacreds, guys. We've got a lot of sacreds. And basically everybody should be on hold and attack. And yeah, this is kind of what Ermor is good at, is doom stacking. We have to worry about dryads, but I've got this gear. I think this will be enough in conjunction with just having crappy dudes around that he's not going to be able to dryad assassin me to death. If I get a little bit more gear, I'll feel more comfortable. But like, ideally I could get like a Mace of Eruption or something. That would be really nice. Anyway, ideally I should also be using my Alquill. And I also need to get this helmet down to them, which, you know, like, anyway, I should, but I don't. We also have another stack moving in. It's a few mages who are just scripted to bless with a bunch of sacreds. I don't even put these guys in the right spot, kind of here in the middle. This army cannot move here. It does have forced move, and they are very fast, but they cannot get from... It's like almost. They can almost get through here, but they can't quite. So, anyway, we're going to bust in this way. Once I take this, I'm going to have to see how it's going with Nazca. I've taught... Nazca has not been very chatty. The Nazca player is not a very chatty player. Some people are chatty, some people aren't. The downside of not being chatty is I don't really know what's going on in his part, because you can see my extensive scout network has apparently gone on strike. So we will just have to find out by sending our big lumbering armies. And yeah, so Nardimu is going to be doing Power of the Sepulchre. We actually probably could have switched this up when we did this first, because we've got this guy, Ingrod, who's... Yeah. They're both doing Unholy Blessing turn 1, so it's kind of anti-synergistic. So that's basically it. Let's go ahead and pull up our current turn. And we're getting more archbishops. Right now we've got 4 people reanimating lictors, so it's 4 lictors a turn. You get them a lot faster, by the way, if you do the Laurel approach. But we're not doing that. We're going for the long play. Okay, current turn. $101 gold from Satis. This is from the kind of cheat detection event. So I didn't cover this in Diplo, but I had sent Pangea a message saying, I really like the Misfortune Bless. What was your thinking on it? Why did you do it? And he says, did you ever hear the tragedy of fate weaving the bless? I thought not. It's not a story Scales Pretenders would tell you. It's a misfortune god legend. Fate weaving is a damage buff that has a negative scale requirement, allowing it to fit on a hell bless. So powerful and deadly, it can use the astral bless path to give sacreds killing blows through higher defense and protection values than their own, attack and damage numbers. It has such power in its luck malice that it can even prevent the lucky bless and buff line from working at all. I didn't actually know this, but that's actually really cool. It actually makes this very good late game, because a lot of nations, like human nations and stuff in the late game, are going to be doing, luck is like a pretty important part of them. Misfortune sides of the scale is a pathway. The misfortune side of the scales is a pathway to many builds some consider to be cheesy. It blesses its units with such high damage, the only thing keeping it from being meta is competing directly with magic weapons, which, as you know, it does. Unfortunately, magic weapons is cheap and non-incarnate with no scales requirements. Then magic weapons received a cost increase, preventing both magic weapons and fate weaving from being on the same build. Ironic. It would compete with powerful incarnate blesses from any path, but not a minor bless from its own path. So he's saying it's really good, but it struggles because it basically has to compete with magic weapons, which it does. But in this case, it's especially versus like Ermor, in most all applications, it's going to be way better than a magic weapons bless. Yeah. So that was kind of cool. Thanks for saying that. I feel like I've only tried it once or twice, maybe, the Fate Weaving Bless. So this is Pangea moving on top of one of my forts. Okay. Checking into the Ermor Hotel. How many nights would you like to stay? And this is us moving on top of his fort. Now, he has a pretty sizable army here. He's got his Inca, this fucking Inca. It's done so much damage. It's actually only 30 kills. It's not that bad. Maybe he has 2. It feels like he has 2. He probably only has 1. This is about 20 White Centaur. And then he's got these pandemics. Pandemoniacs. However you say that. Anyway, I think they are his source of Meniads. And looks like they're set up. This one's set up for swarm casting. He's got these, it looks like, well, I don't know what this guy's here for. Probably just leading troops. And then some satyrs. Is this his prophet? No. These are just leaders. So let's see what's happening. On my side, we do Unholy Blessing, and then we're doing Power of the Sepulchre, which is already hit. Maybe I did fix that. It seems like both went off turn 1. Rip Harpies. Okay, the bugs are coming out. That's kind of cool. You can click on it. If you hit V, it'll show you the spells they cast. I didn't know that was in the combat log. Shrink is an odd choice. I feel like this guy, he shouldn't have brought him unless he was going to do this one. And you all remember that battle where we got completely crushed by these White Centaurs. Well, we've got a lot more Sacreds. And we've got a fair amount of range support. Like, these javelins are going to do a lot of damage, actually. And that additional range damage is going to be important because it's going to push these guys over the threshold faster, which, if there's like killing regenerating blood bond units, especially, there's like a threshold thing. If you can't kill faster than their collective regen capacity, you're in trouble. And these javelins really help push you over that threshold a bit faster. Because otherwise you're just limited by the amount of surface area you have in front. We can see they're getting absolutely brutalized. And now it's just a race. Who can get off? And I would say we were wildly successful. We lost 20 long dead. And we lost 10 of our good Triariuses. And then we lost 20 of our crappy Velites. And then a small assortment of our better shielded javelin infantry. God, I can't talk today. Solus. We lost all of our Solus, but fuck Solus. They did their job. You can see the Inca he killed half the stuff. Ermor, Lemuria, if you're fighting Lemuria, ghosts have much higher base MR. Banishing them is actually a bit tricky. I mean, it kind of works, especially if you're doing like high-powered banishment, it works, or like a lot of banishment, it works. So, it's a big area effect. They clump up. But Ermor gets wrecked by it because our guys have really shit MR. It's only 10. I think Lemuria's base MR is like 14, and that makes a big difference. Anyway. Yeah, we ended up killing both of his Pandemonics, which, that's this 600 gold. I killed one of these guys, so that's 700 gold. Then we killed... I'm not really going to count the satyrs, because he probably was fine getting rid of them. The White Centaur, 55 times 20, so that's... yeah, that's like 1,000 gold. So, and this is almost like a 2,000 gold army. This is going to be painful for him. There's some important math, especially when you're in a 2v1. So first of all, he's kind of outplaying me, but then... Okay, we're going to finish this thought, then I'm going to do events. But there's some important math. Some of the important math is... So he's doing good on it. Like, he's winning on the war front, he's making more money, but on the Doomstack front, if I can get a Doomstack that he cannot counter, he's going to be in some shit. And the reason is that, well, yeah, I mean, basically, if I reach a certain critical mass, I can just get more and more and more stuff, and he's not going to be able, like, he just won't, he'll have to, it's kind of like what happened up here with this White Centaur force. I had to just concede and concede and concede, because I can't have anything that would, like... And it's one of the reasons the Harpies worked well in conjunction with it, is because if I don't have anything I'm willing to put in the way of the White Centaur, then the Harpies can kind of take it for free. So, there's that. Anyway, the White Centaur, or the Harpies are here. This fort, how has he done sieging it? Okay, just 20 more turns, buddy. Yeah, good luck. Now, let's finish events. So, in Ermor, we got a fertility event, which is hilarious. Now, oddly, my income didn't go up here. I don't know what's going on, because I should have 2 free income, but no. I wonder if I should just get rid of this last bit of population somehow. Maybe we move one guy here, and then he'll just get rid of it. Maybe we'll move him here. I don't really want a lot of ghouls in my capital, but it might be good to have like a few more. It'll kind of clutter the display of who's here, because right now he's going to see my army's mostly archbishops and my gods, which if he gets a pack of dryads in here, that's like stuff of nightmares. I mean, I could patrol them out, but if he gets like a critical mass, I would have to... It would be really hard. I actually might not be able to patrol them out. And, you just get to kill off all of my archbishops. So, we do have to worry about that. I think it would be a little early in the game for that. Like, later in the game, it might be a play. But anyway, these guys have checked into the Ermor Hotel. We'll let them stay for a while. I don't know what these guys are doing. Femini Sorceress? I don't even know what that is. Is that a pretender? Anyway. The events. So Dusk Elder recognizes the ancient ruins sealing the crypt. There are some that are easily broken, but others need more time, and the process is dangerous. This is what is going to kick off the event here for I think if something attacks, I just want to get the fuck out. This is going to kick off the event. The event chain for the Ancient Temple. For the Dusk Elder exploration. And then after this, there's basically a chance every turn we get some cool item, or we get a magic path, or whatever. And there's also a chance this guy dies. So we'll see if we're lucky or not. Here we can see a Yissian army has taken this throne. We'll have to figure out which one it is. Right now, Yiss has claimed the throne of Gaia. Anyway, we're going to take this from him, almost no matter what. The question is just when. And we have a very good Yiss killing Bless. So, we're probably not going to nap him. And then, if he attacks us, we don't really care. Because Yiss isn't very good at sieging forts in particular. And then, yeah, we'll just unannounced attack him and take this back. That's basically our plan. And it will depend what throne it is. If it's Throne of Gaia, I wouldn't fight him over, to be honest. But we're getting to the point where there's not like a lot of thrones. Throne of Water. Throne of Fire, Gath has. These are the two I would really like the most. The Silver Throne, Scaleria has. It's probably this one. Throne of the Moon, that one's right near me. The Iron Throne is pretty good. This one would be pretty good. None of these are really that, like, the ones I really wanted are like the Inner Throne. I wouldn't fight him over. The Outer Throne, not really. God, the really good thrones have already kind of gone. I really wanted the throne. Let's see who has the Throne of Water. Relay has it. That's this one. Well, if I conquer Pangea completely, that gives me potentially access to the Throne of Water, which one I really want. Throne of Fire I also really want. But Ashdod has it, and I think Ashdod is... He's fighting Jotunheim. I think Ashdod's... Wait, is it... Okay, this is Ermor. So Scaleria is right here. Jotunheim is right here. I think that means... I think this is Ashdod. If I had to guess. And if this is Ashdod, it means this or this is the Throne of Fire. It doesn't look... Basically, these are really... The good ones are pretty far removed from me, which sucks. The Throne of the First Age, in terms of troop bless, is the best one left, but it's also kind of crap. Yeah, I mean, this is probably the one I would want the most, just to have something that can research. But these guys are expensive too. Like, it's almost too expensive to research. Mostly for site searching. But, you know, there's some important stuff we could do, like just making crystal shields or slave matrices or something to get some powerful spells online for us. Anyway, did we go through all the events? No, we didn't. Okay, another growth festival. Dominion increased, and then Unrest, and then Gold. That one's really good. So that's very nice. And then here we got a hurricane that hit us. So a little unfortunate. This place is pretty fucking worthless now. Probably is worth claiming this. It's going to be a big malice on people near me. Well, it might spill my dominion on over here, which I'm not terribly excited about. Now we're going to claim it. I mean, it would be nice to have the gem income, but if it's going to erode this, and this still has quite a few people there, I don't know. We'll see. I don't really want to piss people off on this corner. There's a few good things that come from it, but there's going to be a lot of bad things that come from it. And it's kind of going to be a wash, and I don't want to waste the turn. That's how we're going to rationalize it. Okay, so now for actually playing this turn out. What we've got to do, and we're going to play this together. I need to go ahead and put this gear on Nardimu, because he is going to be the main leader of the siege. Now, what does that mean? First of all, look how many guys we have. We've got 30 Knights of this Unholy Sepulchre. We've got 20 Lictors, and these guys are in trouble. He needs every single one of his dudes to take me out. And this fort's up now. We're building a temple. Because that's something censors can do. So the goal is I want to have all of my important troops that I can on the one on the one guy who's going to survive assassinations, because I'm expecting there's just going to be a dryad shitstorm here. And then Ballin also is going to be able to survive because he's going to have 3 lictors plus whoever's guarding him pop up in a siege defense. And we've cracked it, so we can go ahead and storm it. And then I think this guy's going to be pretty immune to swarm assassins. I mean, he's definitely going to be immune. So he can also raid, though. And I don't think the battle inside the fort's going to be terribly hard. So I think the direction... We're going to have this guy siege. This guy, the way I just think about it, he's probably good as dead. Like, if he gets assassinated, he's in deep shit. I think there's a few predictable moves. Like, this stack is almost definitely going to come here. And so kind of what I was thinking is, let's consolidate this army. I don't know if this is strong enough to handle 30 White Centaur. But I've also already have a PD dump here. I think it actually is. I think what we're going to do is the PD... Well, there's a few things we're going to do. Engrod, who I'm hoping does not get assassinated, he's not going to be part of the siege, or the storming of the fort. He's going to come over this way. And I want to get this group over here. We'll do this one first, because this one's going to be a little more tricky than... this battle here will be more tricky than this battle here. So highly likely he's going to come here, because this army, he knows it's untenable, I'm assuming, to just keep mucking around here and have his guys starve and accomplish nothing. Meanwhile, I'm going to be taking infrastructure from him. He knows this. He also probably knows that versus my important guys, he's not going to be able to effectively assassinate these 3. Everybody else is kind of fucked, though. But so I don't think he's going to completely crutch on that. He does have a monolith. If he teleports his monolith inside, we could be in a bit of trouble. Anyway, we can't prepare against everything. And if we die to a monolith, we die to a monolith. We have magic weapons at least, so Body Ethereal's not going to mess with us. He has enchantment, Alt 4, so we know he does have that. Anyway. The big battle for this has already happened. In my mind, this fort's basically already ours. Killing these pans is going to open up basically me to take all of this back. Because once these guys are dead, I don't have to worry about the harpies or anything. Now, there's other things Pangea can do. Pangea can do thugs. There's a bunch of things. Like, it is not a one-dimensional nation. So it'd be really interesting to see what all he deploys in his defense against me if these White Centaur die. But when you're this hard in on a bless, you're not going to have a ton of resources to do other things. Now, I probably should think about taking this back, but I don't have anybody in the region. So one of the things I need to do is get little raiding squads out. Now, the raiding squad I send here needs to be capable of killing all the PD, which is going to be important. Here we've got just one sacred. Here we've got a few. I'm going to take this guy with the best dudes. I'm being very scatterbrained, I know, because I said I would finish this other thing down here, and I haven't. But we're bringing a small little group of dudes in here who can raid this province. And we'll continue doing the same. So, over here. I wonder if I can bring more. Okay, anyway. Doing what we said, coming back here. So let's get this group set up. Now, we know that he's been having these guys in a line formation, and they're just on attack closest, or attack rear. No, I think they're, I can't tell if they're on attack rear or attack closest. So it's not that wide. What I want to have happen is I want them to plow into my knights, and then I want these guys to start reinforcing the knights as the knights all die. And then I want my guys to just slam into one of the flanks. And if I do that, especially if I hit him really hard on a flank, we'll start collapsing it. And I just need enough meat that while we're chewing through one of his flanks, everything doesn't go to hell. So anyway, let's get this all organized here. I don't think I was patrolling here this turn, so it's possible, though unlikely, that Dryads have snuck in. This guy's moving in from another province. Everybody else is already here. Okay, so let's get some of the basic formations done. What I want to have... Okay, I'll just get these things all split up so I can grab them when I want to. Garbage in the back. This is a mixed squad. We can't be having that. We're going to have as few commanders here as I think I can get away with. Are these bodyguards? No. I think I would have known that. Okay, so the play here, we're going to reanimate ghouls. We could probably do... Yeah, we'll go ahead and do ghouls. And what I want to have... So they're going to be in a line. They're going to come up and hit, like, this far across. We're going to have... This is going to be our strong side. So I want to hide our good commanders in and amongst... Like, I want to hide our guys in and amongst this. Because, like, if this whole side collapses, I don't want them getting to my commanders. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so this would be a sparse line, which we're going to put... I want the PD to be able to get through. That's one of the reasons we're doing sparse lines here. And this is going to be in a sparse line behind it. So again, the PD can get through. Maybe I even back people up a little bit farther. It's going to put more of the load on PD, which I like. All right. We've got one of these really long lines, which will split. Oh, can you not go up a bit more? Okay, so now we've got 3 lines of our javelineers. Perfect, okay. Now, these... Okay, the javelins are holding fire closest, holding fire closest, holding fire closest. Okay, perfect. Holding attack closest. Okay, this is all good. All very good. And these guys are holding attack closest. Okay, now the important part. The important part, we've got somebody coming in for Unholy Blessing. If this guy gets assassinated, there's some kind of calculus to do. If this guy gets assassinated, then we're not going to be able to bless our sacreds at all, because I'm about to take these guys and we're going to put them on just Unholy Power. Like so. And they're going to get Unholy Power on a bunch of these sacreds. Let's make sure I got this for both of them. This is the Area Effect 5 one. Anyway. And then we're doing a couple of protections of the Sepulchre. This, I think, in conjunction with this amount of PD, should be able to kill this army. Though I think it will be kind of bloody. It depends on kind of how well our formations work. Let's take a look at how it would do if I went to attack rear. This is his profit. He's going to sit there and banish us. Maybe we do attack rear. This gives us a better shot getting that profit out, so he's not going to banish his way through our whole army here. Here we're going to patrol. You guys are... You can just retreat if there's combat. You can go over here. You can retreat also. It's always risky putting guys on retreat, especially with undead, because if you forget to take them off retreat and you have them move around, they can like cause all your guys to dissolve. Whoops. We're upgrading this fort, and we're building a temple. But I don't have quite enough money to get to start another fort. This is probably going to be our next fort because it's, you know, a swamp. Pretty safe. It's on the safe part of our empire. We're going to go ahead and try to get rid of some of this unrest. See if we can get a tiny bit of gold out of this before everybody dies. This guy, I think, is going to be the main person to come lead the... Or he's going to bring a lot of the reinforcements to take back this land that Pangea has taken from us. Okay. Now, I think these guys have 16 movement. These guys are 17. Okay, let's just turn our movement thing on. 16. Okay, so we can go over here. Perfect. We're not patrolling. This army is too scared. It's just going to kill whatever we patrol. So we'll have him wait a turn. Let these guys wait their turn. The other thing we've been checking every turn is we're waiting for the sappers to come up. If the sappers come up, we're going to jump all over it. Like, go crazy for some sappers right now. Ooh, we've got 2 sacreds here. I kind of need to take this back too. It's getting a little scary. It's only 7 income, but there's population that can be turned into ghouls. Do I have anybody that can do this? I think we just bring him here to pick these guys up. And we've got a few scouts. This is going to be an air mage province later. I should look at forting it. This site causes an event chain that ends up giving you recruitable air mages, but it's going to be a while probably before that. It's like a pretty long event chain. Okay, the question is, do we think we can take all of these barbs with this stack? And I think the answer is yes. I think the answer is yes. And yeah, we're up to 5 lictors a turn. Next turn we'll be at 6. And we just got to keep doing it. What this means though is I got to be pretty conservative about moving lictors around. Oh, before I forget. The other thing I kind of need to do, but I don't really have an easy way to do it, is I need to get, if there's a lab here, we'll be set. I can send we can pick up the hat. I want to have the fire hat on this lady too. But I think with this, it's going to be very hard for them to kill me with an assassin. 16 body protection and 5 head. Bugs are not going to be able to hit me. And bugs also, because they're small, I think will be a little more biased to hitting the fire plate. If I get 0 dudes, it's possible I could die. Okay, you are sieging, and I think we're going to have you make ghouls, because of course. And you guys will storm. Now, I do have a lot of guys on this person who I would like to take off. Because this person, probably not going to make it. Not going to lie. Okay, you can go ahead and make some ghouls. And, okay, yeah, we're only going to storm with these 3. We've got some, basically just distractions. What I'd like to have when I storm is have this guy out in front. And then these guys hold an attack rear. So he's going to do Unholy Power, charge in. I mean, honestly, he can probably just charge in. We'll do Unholy Blessing. There's a chance that this guy gets assassinated and dies, and then this is going to be the only guy blessing him. You know, if that is the case, it might be better to go ahead and send these guys in too. And if I'm sending them in, we're going to just put them down here, and they're going to have a shot at blessing everybody. Their only job. Okay. So anyway, that's what this guy is going to do. This guy's only 18 morale. He could succumb to an MR check, but it's pretty unlikely. That would be hilarious, though, if Pangea got, like, free spawn lictors. And I think I actually want to have these guys on this group, because this is my most assassin resistant, because he's not going to fail the morale check. I think we're going to put all the lictors that are not on guard commander on this guy. Again, I'm trying to get my most important assets I do not want on people who can die. And Ballin probably won't die, like if he actually goes in the assassination battle, but he could get stolen. It's a little risky using him. I might be done using him. I might send him back home after this. Okay, so anyway, if we look at it, we've got these guys holding attack rear. I'm feeling pretty good about this. I do want to have these guys, like my important leaders, on this side of the front, though. Okay, so that's basically it. What are we left with? We're gonna be storming this fort. We got a crap ton of sacreds. We've got a sort of trap. I mean, he knows it's here. It's not really a trap. We just are preparing to defend this in case he pulls this army back towards his homeland. And we're preparing to go on the offensive again on this front. And that's basically it. Hopefully we get some more forts going up soon. I think fort priority, maybe this one and then this one. Yeah, and then maybe I get this throne. But I think I'm going to fort up this way, and I'm going to attack down this way in general. I'm not going to fort anything, I think, past this. I think as much as I can, we're going to try to not... Because especially if I conquer Pangea, I do not want my dominion in Pangea. I want all the Pangean death scales income. So I think that is it, folks, and I will see you next time.